Hello, everyone. Welcome to our recap of this morning's meeting. We're going to be talking about Rent Qualify, our vendor referral agreement, and we're also going to be looking at the benefits we're going to start offering. So first of all, let's look at Rent Qualify. All right, so this is Rent Qualify. We actually own this site. We've been using it to market some properties, but lately we haven't been using it that much. What we want to do with this is have this be able to capture leads and allow you to let your clients look without the worry of losing them as a client or not having them put your name down. So we're wanting to capture leads, register them, and give them something to look at. So first, you would just start by putting in your area and your rent range, bedrooms and bath, and then you would hit search. So let's do Houston, and Houston is the only city that has anything in it. Just going to max 1500, just say one bedroom search. All right, since we are changing up the site, there's a few things we need to adjust. We are actually right here is where a sign in or create an account would appear. It's just going to either ask them, to sign in, so that if they sign in, they continue looking, or they can create a new account. They will not be able to use the site if they don't create an account or they don't have an account. So it's going to ask them their first and last name, email, and phone number, and it will verify that email. So once they do that, they'll be able to continue looking. And how that helps us is now we've just captured them as a lead. So their information is now going to be sent to us, and so then we can contact them, and then we'll kind of treat them as a normal client. We'll call them, we will get what they're looking for, and send them a listing still. So now for the client can kind of look around, find properties that they like, and then they click on the properties info. And then, so we're going to change this up, the contact representative. We're going to change it up so it's going to say contact property, and it's not going to have any of that information. So then once they click on contact property, it's actually going to register them as our client. So it's going to send the property a little guest card, and it's going to have all their information saying this is a registration from rentqualify.com. Those are the only two immediate changes we're going to be making to the site. Right now, everything else is pretty much good to go. You can kind of look through it on your own. It functions very similar to, like I said, with apartments.com. It's very similar to that. But one thing we are going to be adding after we get a couple properties on here is a backend for agents. A place where agents can go and actually look at where their client is registering, when they're registering, their activity, when they are last on, pretty much what your client will be doing. Until then, it'll actually just be saved in the admin area. So we still will be able to check it. But once we get enough properties on there, then we'll actually be able to create a place that agents themselves can go look. This is really going to make our lives a lot easier because we will be able to let people look a lot easier, and they'll be able to register themselves, and we won't have to worry about us losing them as a client and not getting paid on them. What we're trying to do is just capitalize on legitimate referrals that we send and make sure we are receiving credit. So this, it'll seriously will make our lives so much easier. So we need to actually talk to properties. So one thing we have to do is actually but just call and talk to managers or regional supervisors and see if they're okay with us advertising our property. In just a moment, I'm going to start talking about the vendor referral agreement. It's really simple. I'll go over it in just a second. But this will be available to everyone in the company. We just need to make sure everyone is pulling their own weight and actually going out there and bringing in new vendors to this. One thing I did forget to mention is that we are also going to, once we get a few properties on here, we'll also make it so that it'll rotate between agents. So like whenever someone comes on this page and it asks them to create an account, you can either select that you're already working with an agent, you can pick what agent you're working with, or you can, or if they're like a new person just looking, they will be able to select a new agent, and then the next agent in rotation will receive that next lead. So that's what we're working on. Properties won't immediately be on here. We need to get their permission to be able to advertise their property and to make sure that they will accept Rent Qualify as a legitimate referral source. But this, we seriously have to really focus on this and get everyone in on it because it really, really will help make you more profitable. So next I'm going to look at we're going to look at the vendor referral agreement. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's only 2 pages long. It's not like they're having to pay for anything or anything like that. We're just getting their permission. So I'll just kind of highlight it real quick. So first thing is just making sure that they will accept Rent Qualify as an acceptable referral source. We'll offer a money-back guarantee. We'll guarantee the tenant for 90 days. If the tenant does not reside in a residence for whatever reason, we will not ask for payment, or if payment was already issued, we will give it back in those 90 days if they request it. This is because we don't want to send crappy tenants to the properties. We want Rent Qualified to be known as a good referral source. They're not having to deal with a bunch of headaches or giving checks to people that are going to be leaving after 60 days or whatever. So that is why we're doing this. Online guest card is where they will fill out whenever they register themselves. Whenever they click the contact the property, it'll register them and it'll send them an online guest card. It'll have all their information on there. That's how we will register them, so that we make sure that we receive credit. And this will help. So say they forget to put your name down, or they put, like online or web, Craigslist, drive-by, residential referral, social media. If there's no referral spot at all or nothing at all, that's how we receive credit when not the proper referral source was listed. So this is to make sure that we are getting credit for the ones we do send. We are not going to see credit whenever another legitimate referral source is used. So if like another apartment locator is used or another real estate specific website was used, like apartments.com, Zillow, all that good stuff. One of those was used, we're not going to try to receive credit. We do need their right to advertise the property. I just kind of list a few places that we do advertise. We don't want to send fraudulent information. There's a big problem going around with apartments right now. I'm sure everyone's aware of it, but fraud is a big deal. And so we want to help stop fraud. And this is a way that the apartments, they'll like that we're on board with this. Now we're not going to be sending them bad tenants that are using false or fraudulent documents to get in the apartment. We will be requiring payment to be submitted in 90 days. Those apartments that, I'm going to use Portofino for an example. Apartments that do take like 120 days to pay. We want to try to work with them. They need to pay 90 days, but we can extend the guarantee to 120 days. So if the tenant doesn't stay in there for the 120 days or whatever it may be, then we can't issue it back. But 120 days is just too long. We're wanting properties that'll pay us in at least 90 days. And then all invoicing is still going to be done as normal. It'll still go through Texas Apartment Experts. So really, this is all they have to fill out. Just agree to it, and then give it to me, and we'll advertise our property. This will be attached in the email below. So just talk to regional supervisors is the best thing. By talking to regional supervisors, we'll be able to advertise the entire management without having to go to each individual property and ask them if we can. Another thing I did forget to mention is so we have to register them before the tenant has contacted the property or has visited the property. And we also want to make sure we're only putting properties on here that pay us at least 50%. There are, the occasional properties. Sometimes there's a really good property. I'm going to use Vanderbilt for an example. Vanderbilt's a pretty easy lease for us. So that's one we would put on there. They only pay us a $300 flat fee. But try to stick with properties that at least pay 50% when you're trying to bring on a new property to rent qualify. So that's pretty much it. You can ask me if you have any more questions. Pretty much you just want to be able to go out or call the management, talk to them, see if it's okay for us to advertise our property, if they'll accept us as a referral source. It should be a pretty easy sell. And once we do that, we'll put them on Rent Qualify, and then we can start registering clients there and start sending clients to Rent Qualify to check it out. So we need to make sure we're doing this for sure consistently too, because even those nights, let's say it's like 7 o'clock at night, you don't want to send any more listings, but you get tons of leads then. you can be telling your clients, hey, go check out Rent Qualified. They can be looking around, registering themselves, but you're not losing credit or anything like that. And then in the morning, you can be sending them a listing. So let's focus on this. Talk to properties, use your referrals, or use your managers that you know, and talk to them. Let's get them on here. All right, so now let's talk about the benefits that are going to be offered. So we're going to be offering accident, health, vision, and dental. So I'll attach these at the bottom of or I'll put them in an email. And it gives you pricing and just more information about it. So accident and health, from what I've seen, and we'll get a little bit more information once you sign up. You'll get a whole handout of what exactly you're signing up for. I'm not super good at this stuff, so I'm just going to kind of relay what I've heard. I'm also going to put a video in the description. The video is from, I watched a few minutes of it. It's from someone from the Boutique Hub, which is who we're going through to get this. It's actually, we're piggybacking on our other business that we have. And so it's going to be someone talking from Boutique Hub is where we're going from, and then 2 other insurance agents kind of explaining a little bit more about what this is going to be. But from my understanding, what I've seen so far is that the accident and health is more supplement. It's not like full coverage. So if you already have full coverage, you can add on to this, but don't do away with your full coverage just because you're going to be getting this. What this could do, though, is cover your deductible, or this is just better than nothing at all. So what it goes up to is $20,000 for the accident and health. You can kind of read on exactly what it is. I'll be sending you more links or what exactly it'll cover. It covers actually quite a bit, the accident, and then also the illness. It's quite a bit. So I'm not going to go over everything. You can kind of look at it yourself. And it kind of depends on your age too for the illness. So we're going to be offering that, and then we'll also be offering vision and dental. Vision and dental are pretty much going to be full coverage. Vision, I think it's like a yearly eye exam and free contacts or glasses once a year. And then dental is like, I believe, every 6 months you can go in for a cleaning. And then they cover minor surgeries, if it's like a crown or cavity or whatnot. They don't cover like real big surgeries. I believe it's up to like $1,000. I'm not 100% sure if that's every 6 months or per year. But that's pretty much the gist of the benefits. You can kind of read through this and get a little bit more information. Like I said, there'll also be a video going deeper into this, so I didn't try to put too much in here. We've already been approved for this. We just have to actually apply and pick the plan we want to do. We're trying to offer we're trying to offer some flexibility, like if you just want to cover yourself or if you want to cover your entire family. We do want to kind of offer that. Once I actually pick the actual plans we want to do, I'll be able to give more specifics, and that'll be done this month. What we are hoping to kind of stay in the price range, we're hoping to stay in for y'all, is in between $75 and $100 a month. So we're hoping to stay in that price range, and for that price, you'll get all 4 of those things. So you'll get health, accident, dental, and vision for $75 to $100 a month. It's not set in stone or anything like that, and it definitely will be for an entire family. Definitely will be more than that, but that's what I'm trying to keep it as low cost as possible. Just because there actually are so many of us going in together at once doing this, so we actually got a pretty good deal. So we're trying to, pass it along, make sure y'all are getting a good deal. So how we're going to go about signing people up for this is, so there's not going to be some like time requirement. You have to be here a year or 2 years or whatever. All you have to do is sign up a property, bring a property to Rent Qualified. So bring a vendor. Get a management to sign the vendor referral agreement, and then at that time, whenever you turn that into me, I'll give you an application, and then you can sign up for your benefits. And then, so that's all you have to do. So as soon as you bring on a vendor, it has to be a management. It can't just be a single property. It needs to be a management. Bring on a management, and then you can actually start getting benefits. What we're also doing too is at the time, so if you don't bring on an entire management, 5 individual properties count as well. That's something that we're going to play with that. We're not 100% sold on that. I'm going to try to see what works. But either 1 management or 5 individual properties will make you eligible for the benefits. And also, if every time you sign up a management or 5 properties, we will actually pay for that month's, however much it's going to cost. So we'll cover the cost for that month. So, and actually, if you do multiple in a month, like say you sign up 3 managements, we'll cover 3 months worth of healthcare and or really benefits. All right, so that's pretty much it. Just to kind of recap everything. Pretty much, we want to be adding vendors to Rent Qualify so that you can become more profitable and your job will become a lot easier to do. In turn, you'll be getting benefits and you'll be covered. It's pretty easy to sign people up. Something else also that we are going to be doing, as long as we get enough vendors on, or enough properties on Rent Qualify, is we'll actually be doing online confirmation sheets. So instead of having to email or fax a physical confirmation sheet, we can actually just send over a electronic confirmation sheet. It'll still have all the same information, but it'll just be like drop-down boxes. So it'll be a lot easier for them to just kind of fill out real quick, and they'll just have to click, I agree that I'm authorized to sign this, and we will receive credit. So getting people on here is going to make our lives so much easier. Honestly, you really shouldn't need benefits to sign properties up on here, just because it is going to make your life easier. But I'm happy to do it. And just if you have any questions, let me know. One thing we are going to be doing is on the property sheet. If you don't have a property sheet, everyone should have one, but if you don't have a property sheet through, Google Docs, let me know. But I'm going to be making an extra tab on there so you can see which agent is contacting which property, because we don't want a bunch of random agents contacting the property constantly. So what I recommend is talk to the properties you already know and have your relationship built with. But you can kind of check on there and see which agent is working with which property. And yeah, kind of go from there to make sure we're not jumping down each other's throats. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or ask me. I'm happy to help. All right, thank you so much for your time. You have a great weekend.